Democratic State Senator Sandra Cunningham of the 31st Legislative District spoke with Hudson County View about two pieces of legislation recently signed into law by Governor Christie: Bail Reform and the Opportunity to Compete Act, otherwise known as Ban the Box. Before answering questions about the legislation, the senator briefly spoke about the status of a new Hudson County prosecutor.
Okay, I can only tell you one, the three senators, Senator Stack, Senator Sacco, and myself, we've been really working very well together on most appointments. We have a really good working relationship. Now, I have submitted names for the possible prosecutor's seat. And one or two of the people who have come to me, I've asked them to give the other two senators calls. So I can't give you an exact date when this will be decided or if what changes will be made. But it is something that we are working on.
I followed up by asking Cunningham about the practical implications of bail reform for New Jersey citizens.
The main part of bail reform that we're all very concerned about is, we have people who commit crimes and they're able to get out right away, and they come back out in the community and commit the same kinds of crimes. So what this will do will basically say that it's up to the judge to decide if you're going to get bail or not, hopefully to rectify that situation while still being fair to people and their civil rights. The other part that is very important is we have a lot of people who have committed nonviolent crimes, and bail is very low, maybe $200, $250, but they just don't have the money to pay it. So you have people sitting in jail that we're paying for in incarceration because they can't pay their bail to get out. And as long as they're incarcerated, even though if they made a mistake, if it's a nonviolent crime, they're incarcerated, they can't work, they can't take care of their families, and we're left with that responsibility. So in this, people can get out of bail without actually having to pay the bail. So we're hoping to get some of the people who are just being warehoused out back on the street so that they can work and take care of their families while they're waiting for their trial or whatever.
In addition, Cunningham spoke about her signature legislation, the Opportunity to Compete Act, better known as Ban the Box.
What it does is, on applications for jobs in the state of New Jersey now, there is that question, that box that says, have you ever had a criminal record? Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been accused of committing a crime? Whatever the deviation, that question still asks if you have ever had a history with the judicial system, the justice system. Once you check that box and says yes, most times you have never heard from that prospective employer. What this legislation says is that we're taking that box off of the question, off of an application. So you fill out the job application like everybody else. You put your credentials down and your work history and everything that everyone else does on an application. You send it in. They look at it, and if it's something they think that you qualify for the position, you're giving an interview like everyone else. Now, the only time that a prospective employer can ask about your record, and they can ask, but at the end of the interview.
Finally, Cunningham explained the realities faced by those who've served their time in prison and how her legislation helps them.
If these people continue not to find jobs, how are they going to support themselves and their families? We basically say, we're not going to help you, so therefore do whatever you have to do to make it. That doesn't rectify or resolve the issue. If a person has done what they did, made a mistake, fulfilled whatever that obligation is to the justice system, then they need to be able to get a job if they want one. And I talk to people all the time who've had records that are 20, 30 years old. And these people, it follows them all of their life. And I'll tell you, it just doesn't make sense, because if you've come out of incarceration like many of these people have, they've reunited with their families, they've educated themselves. They've gotten all, degrees or certifications, and they've been out looking for a job. When do we say enough? Let's give them a fair opportunity. They either get the job on their own merit or they don't. Nothing guarantees them a job. It only offers them an opportunity to be interviewed, an opportunity for a job. If they screw up, fine. But there are so many people who have paid their dues.
I'm Michael Shuren with Hudson County View, the eye of the community.